How video games learn to make money forever. A teenager downloads a free game. No cashier, no receipt, no box, no disc. Just one button. Play. At first it looks simple. The game loads. Friends are online. The music starts. A character drops into a bright digital world. But hidden inside that world is something much bigger than a game. There is a store, a currency exchange, a fashion system, a subscription plan, a season pass, a social status ladder, a creator marketplace, a limited time offer, a countdown clock. And every one of them is designed around the same question: how do you make money from a player after the player is already inside? For most of video game history, the business was easy to understand. You bought a cartridge, you bought a disc, you bought the game. That was the deal. The company made money once. You took the game home, and the game was yours. But today, many games are not really products anymore. They are places. They are living worlds. Digital hangouts, entertainment platforms, social spaces, shopping malls with battle arenas attached. And that shift changed everything. In 2024, consumer spending on video games in the United States reached $59.3 billion, according to the Entertainment Software Association's updated figures. Of that, $51.3 billion was spent on content, games, downloads, subscriptions, and in-game purchases. Not just consoles, not just controllers, not just physical games on shelves. Content. The things inside the gaming ecosystem. So maybe the real question is not, why are video games so expensive? The real question is, how did video games learn to make money forever? For decades, video games lived in boxes. A kid walked into a store, stared at the cover art, flipped the box over, begged a parent, saved allowance money, or waited for a birthday. The purchase was physical. You could hold it, trade it, lend it, lose it, scratch it. The game had a beginning, a middle, and usually an end. And for the company, the business model had an end too. Once the player bought the game, the biggest transaction was over. Maybe there would be a sequel, maybe an expansion pack, maybe a strategy guide. But the game itself was mostly complete. Then the internet entered the console. Games could be patched, updated, expanded, downloaded, tracked, connected. And slowly, the store moved from the shopping mall into the game itself. At first, this seemed helpful. A broken game could be fixed, a new map could be added. A player could buy extra levels without waiting for a new disc. But once games became digital, the business changed. A game no longer had to make all of its money on day 1. It could make money on day 1, day 30, day 100, and day 1000. The game became a service, and a service does not have to end. Then came one of the most powerful words in modern entertainment: free. Free to play changed the psychology of gaming. You know what level you are. You know what reward comes next. You know what mission to complete. You know exactly how close you are. Real life says, maybe someday. Games say, almost there. And that feeling is powerful, especially when someone is stressed, lonely, bored, anxious, or looking for control. The game becomes more than a game. It becomes an escape, a routine, a social world, a source of identity. A place where progress is guaranteed if you keep playing. And again, that is not automatically bad. But it becomes dangerous when the game starts making decisions for your life. When bedtime moves later. When school starts slipping. When work gets delayed. When family conversations get shorter. When real goals keep waiting. When the game is always the easiest answer. That is when fun becomes habit. And habit becomes life. So maybe the real question is not, why do people waste time playing games? Maybe the better question is, what are games giving people that real life is not? Progress, belonging. And in a social world, appearance matters. A rare skin says, I was there. A funny skin says, I have personality. A luxury skin says, I spent money. A limited skin says, you cannot get this anymore. A collaboration skin says, I belong to this moment. A player is no longer just buying pixels. They are buying identity. In the old world, a teenager might spend money on shoes, a jacket, a poster, or a collectible. In the new world, some of that money goes into a digital self. The avatar becomes a version of who they want to be seen as. And once identity enters the economy, the business becomes much stronger. Because people do not only buy what they need, they buy what expresses them. That is why digital clothing can matter. To an adult, it may look ridiculous. Why spend real money on an outfit that only exists on a screen? But to the player, the screen is where their friends are. It is where they compete, where they joke, where they hang out, where they are seen. In that world, the outfit is not invisible, it is social. Then games found another tool, the Battle Pass. The Battle Pass may be one of the smartest inventions in modern game monetization, because it does not simply sell an item, it sells a journey. A player pays for a season, then unlocks rewards by playing. Level 1, Level 10, Level 50, Level 100. Every match becomes progress, every reward becomes a little hit of satisfaction. Every locked tier becomes a reason to keep going, and there is usually a clock. The season ends soon. That clock matters, because once the player pays for the pass, they may feel like they need to finish it. They already spent the money, now they have to spend the time. So the game has done something powerful. It has turned attention into a schedule. The player is not just playing because the game is fun. They are playing because the season is ending, because the reward will disappear, because the pass is unfinished, because their friends are ahead, because missing out feels worse than logging in. The Battle Pass does not only sell content, it sells commitment. And then there is virtual currency. Coins, gems, gold, V-Bucks, Robux, credits, points. These systems seem simple. Instead of buying an item directly with dollars, the player buys a bundle of digital currency. Then the player spends that currency inside the game. But that extra step changes the feeling of the purchase. $10 feels like $10. 1,000 coins feels like game money. And game money is easier to spend. It creates distance between the player and the price. It also creates leftovers. Maybe the item costs 800 coins, but the bundle gives you 1,000. Now there are 200 coins sitting in the account. Not enough for the next thing. So the player may buy more. This is not an accident. The economy is designed. On Roblox, users can buy Robux through one-time purchases or a monthly premium subscription and spend Robux on avatar items, clothing, accessories, emotes, and experience-specific enhancements. Roblox says Robux has no monetary value outside the platform and can only be converted to fiat currency through its developer exchange program under certain conditions. That is where the hidden economy becomes even more interesting. Because in some gaming worlds, players are not only customers, they are builders. Roblox is one of the clearest examples. Millions of users do not just play experiences. They create them. They build worlds, design items, sell access, sell upgrades, sell avatar clothing, earn Robux, and in some cases, convert those earnings into real money. In 2024, Roblox reported that more than 24,500 developers and creators qualified for and were registered in its developer exchange program, and developers and creators earned $922.8 million that year. That is not just a game economy. That is a labor market. A teenager can become a player, then a creator, then a seller, then a small business. A bedroom becomes a studio. A game becomes a storefront. A digital item becomes income. And suddenly, the line between playing and working becomes blurry. This is the next evolution of gaming. Not just companies selling to players. Players selling to players. Creators building the worlds that other players spend money inside. The game company provides the platform. The creators provide the content. The game company provides the platform. The creators provide the content. A bundle is best value. The players provide the attention. The economy keeps moving. But there is another side to this story, the parent side. Because to a parent, the system can feel confusing. The game was free. So why is there a charge? And another charge? And another. A parent may see small purchases, on a bank statement. $4.99, $9.99, $19.99. A skin, a currency bundle, a season pass, a subscription, a limited item. Each purchase may look small, but the system is not built around one big payment. It is built around many little moments. A child sees a countdown. A friend already has the item. A new season just started. A character looks plain. A reward is almost unlocked. A button glows. A store refreshes. And the pressure is not always obvious from the outside. This is why regulators have paid attention. In 2022, the Federal Trade Commission announced settlements requiring Epic Games, the maker of Fortnite, to pay a total of $520 million over allegations involving children's privacy and unwanted charges. That included $245 million for consumer refunds related to dark patterns and billing practices. That case did not end the gaming economy, but it showed how serious the issue had become. Because when games are played by children, monetization is not just a business question. It is a family question. Who understands the price? Who controls the payment method? Who feels the pressure? Who is old enough to recognize the design? The hidden economy inside games is powerful because it blends fun, identity, habit, and money. A player is not walking into a store with a shopping list. They are playing. They are laughing with friends, trying to win, customizing a character, chasing a reward, keeping up with a season, reacting to what the group is doing. And inside those emotional moments, the game offers a purchase, not later. Now. This is the genius and the danger of modern game design. The store is not separate from the experience. The store is woven into the experience. The reward screen, the lobby, the loading page, the character menu, the event countdown, the victory celebration, the social feed. The economy is everywhere, but it often feels like part of the game. And that is how video games learn to make money forever. They stopped depending on one purchase. They started selling ongoing access, ongoing identity, ongoing progress, ongoing seasons, ongoing status, ongoing community. A game became something that could be refreshed every week. New skins, new maps, new challenges, new collaborations, new events, new reasons to come back. And every return is another chance to sell. This does not mean all of it is bad. Many players love these systems. They get free access to games they might never have bought. They can play with friends across the world. They can support creators. They can personalize their characters. They can enjoy years of updates instead of one finished product. For some people, a skin is just fun. A battle pass is motivation. A subscription is worth it. A creator marketplace is opportunity. The hidden economy is not only exploitation, it is also innovation. It helped games become bigger, more social, and more alive. But it also changed what a game is. A game used to ask, "Can we convince you to buy this?" Now it asks, "Can we convince you to stay? Can we convince you to return tomorrow? Can we convince you to check the shop? Can we convince you to finish the season? Can we convince you that your character needs one more thing? Can we make this world feel incomplete without the next purchase?" That is the deeper transformation. The game is no longer just entertainment. It is an environment designed for attention. And attention is where the money is. Because the longer a player stays, the more valuable the player becomes. They may buy items, watch ads, subscribe, invite friends, create content, stream gameplay, sell digital goods, build communities, make the game more valuable for everyone else. Modern games do not just sell copies. They build ecosystems. And ecosystems are much harder to leave. Because leaving does not just mean quitting a game. It can mean leaving behind friends, progress, identity, purchases, status, a creative project, a digital home. That is why the economy works. It is not only attached to the game, it is attached to the player's life. A teenager's entertainment budget may now go into things that did not exist in the same way a generation ago. Digital outfits, season passes, avatar upgrades, virtual currency, creator-made items, online identities. Parents may still think of games as toys, but many modern games are closer to economies. And once you see that, the whole industry looks different. The free download is not the end of the transaction. It is the beginning of the relationship. The cartridge became a disc. The disc became a download. The download became a service. The service became a store. The store became a social world. And the social world became an economy. That is the hidden economy inside video games. A place where money moves through skins, passes, coins, subscriptions, creators, platforms, and players. A place where a free game can become expensive. A place where a teenager's digital outfit can be part of a billion-dollar system. A place where companies discovered the dream business model. Do not just sell the game. Keep the world alive. Keep the store open. Keep the season moving. Keep the player returning. Because the most profitable game is not always the one people buy once. It is the one they keep living inside. That is how video games learned to make money forever. Before you go, subscribe to Spark an Idea. We're uncovering the hidden systems behind everyday life, from video games and technology to money, health, culture, and the future. Because every big change starts with one idea. Subscribe and let's spark the next one.